oil painting vlog number 7 of Sri Vishnu Sahasranamavali. The journey into our mind to understand a little bit about our own mind. The senses also can be controlled by what? Manaha, or the mind. Practice our mind to be controlled in a certain direction, to know certain things. If you want to be an engineer, if you want to be a doctor, if you want to be a pilot, then you need to learn certain things. The color of the darkness, or color of what do you call his body, sometimes that he is into, as in the god is into, and the plan that he has already played out many times. Cannot help but laugh at the situation that we are all in as well. So I have a plan for you, so you be the instrument in the plan. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namo Narayanaya, Jai Shri Ram. Welcome back to the Clay Studios oil painting vlog number 7 of Sri Vishnu Sahasranamavali. This is an oil painting that also involves the names of 1000 names of Sri Vishnu in the form of calligram or micrography. I am working on this painting, and as I am working on the painting, I am also trying to understand the meanings behind these 1000 names. The weekly vlogs cover the meanings 10 at a time in each vlog, and that's how it is going. It's a beautiful start and I'm enjoying it, and I hope you are all doing the same too. Please do share your thoughts on how we can improve and how we can do better with this. With that, let's jump into today's program. The plan for today is that we go through 10 names and their meanings. We start with 51 and we go up to 60. Then we have a very interesting storyline on the journey into our mind to understand a little bit about our own mind. And then we are going to look at a very contrasting story on the eternality of God. We talk about God's eternality. We're going to discuss that in contrast to our instrumentality, the way we are expected to be instruments. So that is going to be today's plan, and it is an amazing set of topics to cover. Let's jump right into it. Without much ado, let's get started with the meanings of names from 51 through 60. The 51st name is Om Manave Namaha. This means one who thinks, he who thinks. Well, I think too, you think too. We all think. Is it the same? This is exactly where we are going to look at the mind in a bigger picture in a short while from now. So the 52nd name is Om Tvastre Namaha, means he who makes all beings shrunken at the time of cosmic dissolution. I think we discussed a lot about cosmic dissolution in the previous episodes. If you have not seen it, please do have a look at the previous vlogs. So we will go to the next one, which is 53rd name, Om Stavistaya Namaha, means he who excels in everything in bulk or substantiality. Whatever he does in grandeur, isn't it? The 54th name is Om Staviraya Dhruvaya Namaha. It's not a name, it's like a phrase, and it can be read in a single phrase. That's what the explanation also seems to give. Eternal One, it means the Eternal One being the most ancient, and it is taken as a single phrase, the name along with its qualification. This is exactly what we are going to look at in one of the stories today. So the Eternal One, Om Staviraya Dhruvaya Namaha. 55th name is Om Agrahyaya Namaha. This means one who cannot be grasped by the organs or knowledge or conceived by the mind. I think we looked at that perspective also in our previous vlog, isn't it? We have a little bit of understanding as to why he is that, far-fetching, difficult for us to reach out to, yeah, from our knowledge perspective. 56th name is Om Shasvataya Namaha, means one who exists at all times. 57th name is Krishnaya Namaha. This means, in this context, I think it means existence or knowledge or bliss. The book explains in that format. However, Krishnaya also could refer to the color of the darkness or color of his body. Sometimes it could also refer to the way appearance of the cosmic intelligence also. So it has many meanings, but in this context I think it refers to existence or knowledge or bliss. 58th name is Om Lohitakshaya Namaha, one whose eyes are tinged red. We talked about the lotus flower, isn't it? I think it is. They point to the beautiful pinkish red shape, or also the color could be of the god's eyes. 59th name is Om Pratardhanaya Namaha, destroyer of all at the time of cosmic dissolution. It all comes back to the cosmic dissolution. We have discussed it. I think we will also come and look at it from another eternality point of view in a short while from now. All these are interconnected again from the eternality existence point of view. We will look at it. The 60th name is Om Prabhutaya Namaha, meaning greatness, great because of unique qualities like omnipotence, omniscience, etc. So this brings us to the end of the names for today and the meanings, but it also leads us to the beginning of very interesting storylines. One was this Manave Namaha, he who thinks. What kind of thinking is that? Let's look at that. I'm going to go and take the help of Bhagavad Gita, and I am in Canto number 3, verse number 42. I'll read it out and we will go through the meaning together. Indriyani paranyahur indriyebhyaha param manaha manasastu para buddhir yo buddhi paratastu saha. Here indriyani refers to the senses and buddhi refers to intelligence. Manaha refers to the mind. Manasa, this is all referring to the mind and so on. Let's look at the meaning that is given in the book here, and then we'll go over a little more detailed. The sense organs are said to be higher up to the sense objects, and superior to the sense organs is the mind, and higher still is the intellect. But what is infinitely higher is the within or Atma. It's very difficult for me to grasp as well, so I have made some more notes here. So in our body, let's say that we have some base elements, we could call it dull matter, yeah, and this dull matter needs the help of our senses that can manage and maneuver through. So we control the dull matter in our body through the senses, yeah. Let's say that I have to walk, I need to see something using my sensory object. I have to see something so that the body can move from one direction to the other to know where to go. So yeah, that's how I would try to imagine. So dull matter, senses. The second level, the senses also can be controlled by what? Manaha, or the mind. With the mind, the senses can be controlled. So this is fair enough that inside our body this is what is happening. But there is something more beyond that is being explained here. Buddhi, the intelligence. The mind also can be controlled through our intelligence. But for this intelligence, we will need some help. We might want to go to our school, college, study something, read a book, or find some tools, try some, experience something, learn something, and so on. All these things build our intelligence. So till this time, it is really interesting because we need the buddhi to maneuver, practice our mind to be controlled in a certain direction, to know certain things. If you want to be an engineer, if you want to be a doctor, if you want to be a pilot, then you need to learn certain things, build the intelligence and control the mind and the senses accordingly so that you can use the body and mind effectively to maneuver through the work. But on top of all these things is that supreme mind, supreme self, you can call it spiritual self, that actually can choose. It's the one that is making the choice. Oh, I want to be a pilot. I want to use only this book to read and gain an intelligence. I want to play tennis and be an expert at it. These choices that you are making, choices or grouping of intelligence that you are making, is coming from that supreme mind, and that's the one who is thinking. The manaha, the om manave namaha is coming back to that. So the mind is now taking a beautiful journey, isn't it? So if we look at the layers in our body, we have some dull matters that have the help of the control of senses to maneuver through, and the senses are controlled by our mind overall. Mind is the king for now, but the mind needs the help of something called intelligence, buddhi. That intelligence, a typical subject matter expertise that you are gaining is of choice, that is coming from the supreme self or the supreme mind. That's making the choice that I want to do this, I want to click on this video to look at certain things, I want to learn from there. That's interesting, isn't it? So that was a beautiful journey that we went through, the mind. Now the next story, the eternality. Yeah, this story is about the eternality, and for this we are going to go into Bhagavad Gita again. I am in Canto 11. Before I start reading, I just want to give a precursor to this. Bhagavad Gita, on a higher note, is a conversation between God and Arjuna. Arjuna is in the battlefield where he is having his own family members as opponents, and he is only seeing possibilities of death and destruction in all the areas. He is having existential queries in his mind, and this whole conversation of 700 verses between Arjuna and the Lord God is what is Bhagavad Gita. And we looked at, I think when we looked at some of the previous videos, explanations, we came up to the stage where Arjuna is persistently asking questions and even asking the God to show himself in the real, eternal way that he is. That also happens, and there is a point where he's still in the existential, dilemma, and furthermore, explanation is provided by the God, and that's what is going to be discussed now from the eternality point of view. So let's go into Canto 11. I will read 32, verse number 32. Kalo asmi lokakshya krita pravrutto lokan समाहर्तु इह प्रवृत्तः हृतेऽस्पि त्वां न भविष्यन्ति सर्वे ये स्वस्थिताः प्रत्यनिकेषु योद्धाः. Here, Kala refers to time. Asmi, I am time. Oh, it's not me. He's saying, God is saying, I am time. And Lokan refers to the worlds, yeah. And he is talking about the destruction that is being done by the worlds, by him. And he's saying, this is really interesting, he is saying, Tvam, you, with or without you, Bhavishyanti, whatever will be, will be. Yeah. And Pratyanikeshu Yodhaha. So Pratyanikeshu, every or both the sides of the battle, Yodha referring to the soldiers that are, anyways, Arjuna's family and members of his family. Everybody is going to come to an end. Death is what he is explaining. So I'm just going to read it out, the meaning in English. I am the terrible Kala, eternal time. I am death, destroyer of the worlds, and I am out to exterminate all these beings. Even without you, all these warriors arrayed on both the sides of the battlefield shall die. So he's just telling that, I have an eternal plan and you are just a little pawn in this. With you or without you, this is what is going to happen. So he is just, strongly underpinning the eternality that he is into, as in the God is into, and the plan that he has already played out many times. And that's where Arjuna is, and he's still having the existential question. I also have the existential question, then why me? If you can do everything on your own without my help, with or without me, if something is going to happen, then why me at all? He is answering that in the next verse. I'm going to read it out. Tasmat tvam uttishta yasho labhasva jitva shatrun bhungshva rajyam samruddham mayaivaithe nihataha purvam eva nimitta matram bhava savyasachin. Here his tasmat, I cannot help but laugh at the situation that we are all in. Tasmat, therefore, tvam, you, uttishta, get up. So he simply says, so you are in a way an instrument in the whole plan, so you better get up and get going, do the job. Yeah. But okay, is it meaning that, it's all completely coming to an end and he has to do the job to bring everything to an end? Let's read it out. Let the meaning flow through here. Therefore, do rise and win the glory for yourself, and conquering your enemies, enjoy the sovereignty of an affluent kingdom on earth. These warriors are already slain by me, O Arjuna. You shall merely be the instrument of my will. So he is saying, as per the direction of material energy, the things are bound to happen, but what you are meant to do is to go through this phase of dissolution, cosmic dissolution. I think we came to that, isn't it? Everything come to that, bring everything to a close. In my plan, you are a pawn there, you have an instrument there, do the job. And throughout that, when that happens, after this dissolution, what happens? Something new comes up, and there is a affluent kingdom on earth, sovereign kingdom on earth that is to be established, and you will be reading that, so you will have a role to play there as well. So I am making you go through this for you to be able to do that as well. So I have a plan for you, so you be the instrument in the plan. So it's very simple. Understand the plan of the Lord and be an instrument in that plan. So it just in summary tells us how eternal, the eternality of God, and our role as an instrument in His hands, instrumentality of the living beings. I hope you found this very interesting, engaging, and also thought-provoking. There will be definitely more questions coming up. I would definitely love to have your questions, because I also have a lot of questions in my mind. The more we get into all these learnings, the more we gain from it, I think. And let's try to do it together. Do share your thoughts in the comments and your feedback also. Like I said, I am also a novice. You see the way I'm reading, I'm also struggling. So do make it a point to go into the upanyasams of professionals as well, to go into depth. If you are really interested in this, use this as a starting point, use me as a starting point, and maybe you should go for higher, aim higher as well. I would definitely wish that for you. With all that, I would definitely be happy to share more insights in the upcoming videos. While we wait for that, stay blessed, stay happy, stay healthy, stay motivated. Thank you. Bye-bye.